My name is Finn. I grew up in a very small village in the mountains. My father was a stone cutter. My mother made clothes from wool. They were quiet people who loved the hard ground and the high rocks. They wanted me to stay in the mountains forever. The mountains are strong, Finn, my father told me. The world outside is too big and too dangerous. But I did not want to cut stone. I looked at the clouds moving in the sky and dreamed of the ocean. I wanted to see where the water ended. My parents were sad and angry. They said my head was full of foolish dreams. One dark night, when the village was asleep, I packed a small bag. I took a sharp knife, a warm blanket, and a little bit of dried meat. I walked away from the mountains. I walked for many weeks. Finally, I reached a big city by the sea. I saw a giant ship made of dark wood. The captain needed a strong boy to move heavy barrels. I joined the crew. We sailed away from the land. For many weeks, I was the happiest man alive. I saw flying fish and golden sunsets. But the sea is not always kind. One night, the air became very hot and still. Then the wind started to howl like a hungry animal. The waves became giant walls of water. They crashed onto the ship. The wood began to snap. Men were screaming and falling into the dark, cold water. I tried to hold onto a rope, but a huge wave hit me. I fell into the ocean. The water was freezing. I found a large wooden box floating near me. I climbed onto it and held on with all my strength. I cried for my mother. I prayed to see the mountains again. Then the world went quiet and dark. I woke up on a beach. My clothes were torn and my body was in pain. I looked left and right. There was no ship. There were no friends. I was completely alone on a strange island. The sand was white, and the jungle behind it was thick and green. I sat on the sand and cried for many hours. I felt like a small child again. But my stomach was empty. I had to find a way to live. I walked into the trees and found a small pool of rainwater. I drank until I felt better. Then I looked for food. I found some yellow fruit on a tree. I ate it slowly. It was sweet. That night, I was too scared to sleep on the ground. I climbed a tree and tied myself to a branch with my belt. I did not sleep. I listened to the strange noises of the night. I felt very small and very afraid. The next day I began to work. I found a cave in the side of a hill. It was dry and safe. I used my knife to cut long grass to make a soft bed. I needed a fire. I took 2 hard stones and hit them together for hours. Finally, a spark hit some dry leaves. A small flame grew. I sat by the fire and felt a little bit of hope. "I am Finn," I whispered to the fire. "I am alive." Months turned into years. I learned how to survive. I found a special kind of wood that was very hard. I used a stone to shape it into a sharp spear. I went to the shallow water and waited for hours to catch fish. I also made a bow from a flexible branch and hair from wild animals. I became a very good hunter. I caught wild pigs and mountain goats. I did not waste anything. I used the meat for food and the skins to make clothes. I made a warm coat and strong shoes from goat skin. My cave became a real home. I built a wall of stones in front of the entrance to keep the wind out. I made a table and a chair from driftwood. I found wild corn and planted the seeds in a flat area near my cave. Every day, I carried water to my plants. I also built a fence and kept a few goats inside. Now, I had fresh milk every morning. I had a big storage room where I kept dried meat, corn, and nuts for the winter. To keep my mind strong, I made a calendar. I chose a large, white tree near my house. Every morning, I used my knife to cut a small mark in the wood. When I reached 30 marks, I made a big star for a month. I also kept a diary. I had no paper, so I used flat pieces of dry wood. I used a sharp tool to scratch my thoughts into the wood. I wrote about my dreams. I wrote about the family I left behind. I realized now that my father was right. The world is dangerous. But I also knew I was strong. I was very lonely. Sometimes, I would talk to a large orange parrot that lived in a tree near my house. I named him Red. "Look, Red," I would say, "the corn is growing well today." Red would tilt his head and look at me. It was not a human conversation, but it made me feel better. I spent my evenings looking at the stars and remembering the songs my mother sang in the mountains. I was a different man now. I was smart. I was fast. I knew how to read the clouds and the wind. In my 10th year on the island, I was walking along a far part of the coast. I was looking for special shells to make tools. The sun was very bright. I looked down at the wet sand near the water. My heart stopped. My blood felt cold. There was a footprint. It was not my footprint. My feet were wide and calloused. This footprint was different. It was the mark of a human, and it was very fresh. I looked up at the jungle. I saw a thin line of smoke rising far away in the trees. I moved very slowly through the trees. I did not make a sound. I followed the smell of the smoke. After an hour, I reached a high rock. I looked down. On the beach below, I saw a small boat made of dark wood. Near the boat, there was a fire. 3 men were sitting around the fire. They wore bright feathers in their hair and had paint on their faces. I saw something else that made me gasp. There was a 4th person. It was a young boy, maybe 12 years old. His hands were tied with rope. He looked very sad and very scared. The 3 men were not kind to him. They pushed him and laughed. My heart felt heavy. I could not leave this boy alone. For 3 days I watched them. In the afternoon, the 3 men went into the woods to hunt. They left the boy alone by the boat. This was my chance. On the 4th day, I ran down to the beach. The boy saw me and his eyes went wide. I used my knife to cut the ropes on his hands. I pointed to the mountain. "Come," I said. We ran until our legs felt like fire. We reached my cave and I pulled him inside. I gave him fresh goat milk and food. But then we heard it. A loud shout came from the forest. The 3 men had returned and found the boy gone. I heard the sound of drums. They were looking for us. I looked at the boy. He was shaking. I took his hand. "I will protect you," I said. I walked to the mouth of the cave. I saw the flash of a torch between the trees. They were coming up the hill. When the first man reached the rocks, I let an arrow fly. It hit the ground right at his feet. I stepped out from the shadows. I was wearing my goat skins and holding my long spear. I looked giant and wild in the firelight. I let out a loud, powerful scream. The 3 men looked at each other. They were afraid of the ghost of the island. They turned around and ran back down the hill. They jumped into their boat and rowed away as fast as they could. The boy was safe. I named him Kai. I taught him how to fish and speak my language. We worked together. We built a bigger house with 2 rooms. Kai was like a son to me. The loneliness was gone. One morning, in my 20th year on the island, Kai ran to me. He was pointing at the water.
Fin.
Look, it was a ship. A real ship with white sails. We made a huge fire on the beach. We waved our arms. The ship stopped. A small boat came to the shore. I took Kai and my wooden diaries and got on the ship. When I returned to my mountain village, my parents were very old. They cried and held me tight. "You were right, father," I said. "The world is dangerous." But I learned how to survive. I was no longer just a dreamer. I was a man who was finally at peace.